wants to be able to control Furby.
Oh, I don't wish to be able to control them. No! No, you
But you want a
misunderstand.
lantern that can do so.
No, quite frankly, I wish to help them. I've known Furby for a few weeks now, 2, 3. And
Amazing. You've
from
known
when I
each other
first
so long.
when I first met them, they were quite different than how they are now, and I am under the genuine impression, no offense to anyone in this room, I don't know why offense would be taken, but I feel like Furby is possibly under the command of someone who is affecting their mind, but that's not important to these peace talks currently.
Then why
Hold
was
on,
it
can
brought
we
up
take
as
a
thing in
pause
the
here?
first
Hold
place?
on, I have a question.
Why was it brought up? Because, like you said, walk in with unreasonable demands to lower it down to what I actually want.
Hold on,
May
so I have a
may I
question.
say something real
Quite the,
quick?
quite the
Baduga.
simple tactic. Yes?
I wants a question. Go.
Yeah, so you say that you want to help Furby, which I think is honestly absolutely hilarious how you phrase this, saying that you think something is controlling Furby's brain, so you want to see the lantern. Well, couldn't we flip this and say that's like how Baduga is thinking right now? He sees a skulk, seeing that it's something controlling them. At B, don't take offense to this. This is what I've been told, and I'm not saying that this is like hardcore evidence because I have not tested this. But from what I know, that's what Baduga's thinking. Baduga thinks that he is helping the skulk. So what is the difference from Baduga trying to quote unquote help the skulk and then you trying to quote unquote help Furby?
There's not much of a difference, quite frankly. It just comes down to the opinions of each person here. But I would like to say, I do believe we are getting off topic, considering I have already given up this demand. And
No,
it is
I know,
no
but
longer
it's like
necessary
good just to
resolve.
piece it with your personality and your thinking through this peace talk.
May I add a bit input on that?
Yeah, of course, B.
Sure.
Go for
Of
it.
course.
The difference is that Baduga wants to get rid of the skulk, and Joey's protecting the skulk. Joey, I would assume, wants to protect Furby's lantern. Or
Well,
is that
yes,
what
but
you wanna
who says
I
that
do
he's
not
not
wanna
gonna
get rid of
flip
the
on
entire
Furby
skulk.
once he gets control over Furby?
No, I'm not done. Joey is doing the same thing with both topics. He's protecting the skulk, and he wants to protect Furby's lantern. Baduga wants to remove the skulk. I don't know what he wants to do with Furby's lantern.
Yeah, but who says
he's
that?
trying to
Baduga-
protect Furby's lantern.
Who says that Joey's not gonna
Didn't we
flip?
have
Yeah,
that, B? Hold on, B, didn't we
Yeah,
have
he
that
said
private
Joey-
conversation? We had that private conversation where I thought we made a lot of headway. I realized, and look, I'm going to say this with completely genuinely, whether or not you believe that, sure. I'm sorry
Can
for
we get that in
attacking.
writing to make it genuine?
I'm sorry for attacking you, B. You were. This is the skulk is. You are completely different than everyone else who's been infected by the skull. You are not someone who's in pain because of it or suffering because of it. So why would I have anything against you?
I don't know. I was just bringing it up because
I understand. So with that in mind, I will certainly leave as part of the peace agreement. Because you are a Barreltonian, you will be left alone.
May I state something? I do not like being talked about as if I'm not even here. This is my lantern. I have had it this entire time. And to go around
understand.
saying these theories and bringing them up in a legitimate peace talk is a little funny.
I understand. Yes, I understand that. But then, I ended the topic. Excuse me, sir.
Uncle.
Do you
This
mind?
is a private
Okay,
peace
may I?
Very well.
Or is he just kind of part of? No, he's part of.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
he's a part of
I'm
the
going
thing.
to
That's
finish.
what he-
I'm going to finish.
Okay.
His name's Devin.
All
Hi,
right.
Devin.
Hi, Devin.
Okay, so, like I said, I walked in here with a list of. I'm not saying I'm not. Everyone understands this basic negotiation tactic. You walk in with unreasonable demands to work down to what is actually reasonable. That I am now saying is an unreasonable demand, and the moment it was questioned, I let go of it and no longer require that demand anymore.
Perhaps I should clarify why I brought that up. The reason I explain that negotiation topic is because it makes you look like you're doing this in bad faith. Same with the fact that you're asking for a mind control device from Furby here.
Negotiation tactics are important for negotiation.
Yes, you've given it up, but that doesn't mean that we can't make it. Doesn't. You were just talking about how you don't. You were just talking about how we need to trust you that you won't do this, and how we should trust you because how are we supposed to? And then you go around and you start asking for things that can control people's minds. Does that
May
not
I
make you
interject?
a little bit more suspicious in our eyes?
I believe the neutral party should be able to interject.
May I say something?
Go ahead.
I would rather that we move on entirely from this subject.
Fair enough.
Me
We
too.
can move on.
It
I'm
is
just
making
saying
me
that's
horribly
why we brought it up.
I'm sorry.
So what was the next thing on that list?
All right, I left off at surrender the lantern. Next up, disband the Nemerian Avian Alliance. I already gave that one up. Demilitary. Okay. We get to these parts. This is the part where we left off. Okay. Allow no further expansion of Aviania. I think
Fine
that's
by me.
relatively reasonable.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty big.
Next, cede all previously Polinthian land to Barrelton.
That
That's-
I'm kind of curious. If you want to stay away from Aviania, why do you want to live? Why do you want land that's on its borders? We are not anywhere near Barrelton, but Polanthe is right next to Avianian land.
Exactly.
Oh yes, this was like I said at the end of the book. This is a combination of all the thoughts and prayers and everything that Barreltonians want in total. And this one mostly came down to what's it called? It mostly came down to Paul, who still has a lot of memories with Polanthe, and I think it wouldn't be unreasonable to compromise that down to not giving the land, but allowing me and Polar to go into the land and take some stuff that we believe is rightfully ours.
Two things. First of all, I've spoken with Polar directly on this subject, and Polar said directly that she abandoned that land and does not believe it is useful anymore. So I'm kind of confused as to how that decision has been completely 180 here.
People change, Paduga.
I
Polar
mean, we
was.
can certainly. I would certainly like
would-
to speak with her about that. Sure, we could return some books if needed, but some materials could be provided. Yes, but the specific details kind of need to be worked out before I can agree to this.
Yeah, no, I understand. That's how this works. All right.
So
if
what
I move on
exactly?
to
What
next-
materials will be taken here?
Materials. I was thinking specifically. I mostly interested in not the castle. Some items from the tavern.
Okay.
And
Which items?
the vast wealth of knowledge in the library.
Given I'm someone who thinks that knowledge should be freely shared, even with Barrelton, I would hate to render any scientific alliance moot. With that in mind, I think it would be much more reasonable, in my opinion, to copy some of the archives, and I would be willing to take on that task myself. Copy some of the books and give them to you, so that both nations may prosper
Yes,
because of this knowledge.
It's perfectly fine. We just wish for the originals. You can copy them. Yes.
We could copy, and yes, as long as no knowledge is removed from the library directly.
That's not intended. No. Yes. So it would be we would take the originals. We'd get someone to scribe down all the copies, and we can have a copy of all the books. Yes.
Fair enough.
All right. Next up, disband the CPS.
No.
I understand that may have struck a nerve,
No.
but
I thought
No.
you cared about children here.
I said no.
I do.
No,
Then why
clearly you
would you
do. So
disband
now we
an
want to disband
organization
CPS
directly?
when Hannah is
Going-
obviously a threat to her children?
More into detail of this demand. It's that the CPS is dissolved and the APS will take over its place.
No.
Would that act on Avianian borders?
Would it act on it? Yes, it would.
But I thought my demand was no Barreltonians on Avianian land.
Well, I mean, if there's some injustice against an innocent child, I do believe there should be some slight amount of wiggle room for that.
Well, shouldn't we have a perfectly capable organization already here?
We have CPS already.
Capable. That's questionable at best.
CPS doesn't operate on your land.
Exactly. We gave you your space like you asked. So we don't barge into your land doing
CPS
your
has been
shit.
perfectly capable at dealing with these child abuse cases.
Exactly.
Yes, I understand. I
We've
understand.
handled
Us-
two of them already.
Us
May I
at
interject?
Barrelton. Go right ahead.
I do think that CPS should reconsider members, but that is all I have to say on that.
We're doing perfectly fine on our own. We don't need APS coming in. We have CPS.
Children shouldn't
Working with
be
children.
just. When it comes down to APS and CPS, the issue is it shouldn't come down to. It shouldn't be limited by national borders. The protection of children just should be an international thing. And I know
Then why don't you allow
Barrelton-
CPS on your borders?
Exactly.
I was not finished. But, like I said, Barrelton doesn't agree with the CPS because we don't see it as an entirely just organization.
How?
Can you elaborate on that point?
We don't see it as unjust, we see it as unbiased. Or biased, sorry, I misspoke. We see it as yes, just, right cause, yeah, save kids. Bias, in my opinion, it's a bit biased in my opinion. Yeah.
How is it biased?
Biased in what way?
Well, it's just one of those things that I quite frankly, it doesn't sit well with me. For an international committee that has members from the two nations I'm currently at war at that simultaneously have control over something I care greatly about. I believe it should be the one and only international party that Barrelton's a part of.
I
We
mean,
assembled
we could've-
CPS when every single nation was on the same page. We had no war going on, no nothing. You decided that you did not want CPS coming in, which, alright, cool. So you guys have your own nation. If you guys want to protect your own kids, form it within your nation because we're not welcomed in there. But we have been taking the 3 other nations and paying attention to them and talking with them, and they seem completely fine with CPS. You're the only person that doesn't have, that's not on the same page.
That's reasonable. I can understand my issue.
Yeah, so you understand that, like, CPS is functioning. We are doing what we are supposed to be doing. We didn't split off the kids yet, but we've been taking care of them because, you know, a war was on the fence, so we didn't want to give children to, like, Aviania, and then Aviania gets attacked, and then the children are in danger. Since
That's
Namarian,
reasonable.
as the
Would it be
nation
unreasonable to
is,
set up just a rule? Would it be unreasonable to set up just a rule right now? A rule of war?
what's the
Under
rule?
no circumstances should anyone use allays as they should be kept out of the war.
I
What about
agree with
children in
that.
general?
Children should not be
Allays should be
involved with
kept out of the
war.
war.
The children did nothing. It's the adults and the people around the children that did it. The children should be kept out of it. Wherever they are safe kept, leave them there. Do not attack it. Yeah, okay, so I agree with that, Joey. That sounds reasonable.
Here's
Shall I move on to
the-
the next one?
Yeah?
Hold on. I'm still just a little bit. I don't know. I do agree that CPS should expand its members.
Okay,
It
yeah.
should expand and have more members because.
Yeah, but you do
right
understand
now
that a war is, like, on the fence
Yes.
because of this meeting. I can't just, like, you know, take people from, like, let's say, example, Barrelton or the subs or
Of course.
Aviania in case one of them joins the sides and put the kids at danger here. Namarian, as the nation, is neutral territory, and that will not change.
That's reasonable. Yeah.
Exactly.
quite
Okay.
frankly.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be like entirely neutral ground, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Why is there skulk nearby?
What?
What?
Probably because you're standing here. Probably.
What?
No, not me. There's
What
skulk
do you
nearby.
mean?
There's scope
What do you mean?
nearby.
I think it's
Like the
underground.
plant?
I don't.
We are surrounded.
We are
It's
surrounded
not
by.
what I have on me, but like,
But they're gonna
like its
Oh,
own
yeah.
body. There's not
What?
not anything
Oh,
I put
jeez.
there, but there's a piece of skulk. There's some skulk nearby.
I didn't intend for there to be skulk nearby. I'm sure. I'm
You
sure
didn't?
that. Yes, 100%.
You sure about that?
Yes.
I mean, okay,
I
I
built this
think.
by digging into stone. I didn't know there might be a cave nearby that I didn't see.
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, like, there's different skull caves. There's like billions of them around, so I'm not gonna blame Joey for that. He probably just dug into this cave, mined around, and then like just made this meeting room here. And there just happened to
This
be
neutral
skull.
ground-
What? Sorry.
This neutral ground, this event that is very specific and important. It
I don't
just so
understand
happens.
how there being a collection of skulk just in one place accidentally would result in breaking this being neutral ground.
Yeah, why
the
would it
issue
break?
with this, my issue with even isn't even with the skulk. My issue is with the warden.
No.
If the warden came here, we would all be screwed.
We would be. We'd all be dead, and there's only one exit.
Well, I mean, there would be one by now, wouldn't there, with the noise?
There do happen to be walls. I doubt it's not close enough to. A shrieker isn't close enough to hear us through the walls. I just find it interesting that they're caved nearby.
Okay.
Okay, so we're safe here. We're fine.
Yeah. see?
Okay.
No
Okay.
reason to panic. So I mean, yeah. The list, yeah, cease all skulkist activities and propaganda. We can agree on that. That's something you guys can do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't really flex on number 2. I do insist that Baduga step down as leader of.
I
the
still don't
ABA.
understand why this is the case. This
Just
isn't a
quite
surrender.
frankly,
This is a compromise.
Yes, it's a compromise.
How is
I
this?
believe there are people far more fit to rule Aviania than a biased dictator,
Such as.
such as. Geez, actually, you guys are pretty low on members at the moment, kind of hemorrhaging them. I wouldn't complain, I wouldn't blame them, but
Love the vitriol here.
hey, man, you started it.
I do think that we should avoid insults between everyone. I understand if it's.
Yeah, we're
They
trying
want
to
to because they don't want to be
compromise
involved
here.
in war. That's not my problem. My issue is why I need to step down and who you think would take my place.
Well, I mean, who says someone has to?
To your what?
Step
Like
down,
Memoria.
don't let anyone else become the leader.
Yeah, like Memoria.
I still feel like
We
this
don't
is a
have leader.
little bit targeted. I don't know how to feel about this.
Yes, it's targeted at you. I don't.
If any of
like
my
it.
citizens had a problem with this, surely they would be able to,
What
give
citizens?
grievances.
I don't think you have.
They all left for
I don't think you have
Barrowton.
citizens.
I have citizens.
They
Maybe
all
not
work
as
for-
many. I mean, yeah, I have
I-
citizens, and
well, it
they've
was like- it was
decided
like
to
2,
stay,
3.
and they've said they don't have any issues.
There's like 2 or 3 that left for Barrowton.
Yeah, I know.
I wonder why they did that.
I wonder why.
Are you done?
I mean, am I done?
I mean, because all I see is you trying to, provoke me here, but that's not going to work.
You've been trying to provoke me this entire time.
Well,
You
I've
are-
been wondering how we're supposed to trust your word here, especially when you again don't seem to be
Because I am a
doing this
man of
in
my
good
word.
faith.
I'm doing this. Okay, if I'm not doing this in good faith, then I would like to know why it appears like that and what I could be doing it for.
You have a very, very long history of lying, manipulation, and cheating
It was
to
like
get
a week.
nations to go to war. Regardless of your motivations, it makes your character untrustworthy. And regardless of how much you think you may have changed, it makes me doubt whether or not you are being truthful about these demands, and whether or not you will follow ours to the letter.
Excuse me, Baduga, but I'm not sure I'm supposed to have a peace talk with someone who just cannot stop projecting.
Oh, did you just use the "that's what you are, but what am I" defense? Amazing. You are such an amazing negotiator here.
Joey's never lied to me.
Thank you.
Has the Skulk ever lied to you?
No.
How would you know?
Because
Well, I trust it.
he's not a child. He's not a fool.
I've been with it for a while. I mean, it had no reason to lie to me.
I'm just really wondering how you know you're supposed to, I don't know, like actually abide by these, especially when there's nothing about the militarization of Barrelton.
Yes, no, I don't intend to do that.
Again, I cannot take your word for anything here.
My word is my word, and that's all I have to offer.
Kai, what do you think?
I think words can just be said and manipulated depending on the person's perspective. If there's nothing to be shown as like a proof of that you're going to be saying to your word, then your word means absolutely nothing.
No offense, but paper also means nothing. I could totally rip that up, and
Fair
I
enough.
could myself. I could not legally abide by
Exactly.
paper,
No,
which
no,
I
no.
will for this said scenario. But nothing is going to assure that no one will do anything.
No,
Well,
that's
it's mostly
totally
that
true.
paper would mostly be for the sake of making sure that you can't twist words and pretend like it didn't happen.
Exactly my point. That's why I mentioned words can be said, but depending on the perspective of the person and how they told it to other people, then opinions may vary.
Yeah, but both ways. That means that Joey doesn't have to follow it. If, let's say he didn't want to. Either way, if we wrote it on paper or said it out loud, Joey wouldn't follow it if he didn't want to.
So then,
This
how are we
argument
supposed
is
to agree
going
to
on
this
for far too
negotiation
long.
at all?
Exactly.
Furby, what do you think?
I think that this discussion has been going on for far too long. I think that we should move on from something like this because you're just going to run in
Excuse me,
circles.
Furby, a neutral party's goal isn't to... yes, you're a mediator, but you're also a neutral party. Your job isn't to just
Interject.
cancel us when we're... Cancel us? No, stop us when we are arguing. Your
Cancel.
job is to offer your unbiased opinion on the topic.
Well, there is no job here. You volunteered for this, right?
I am simply
Yes,
here to make
it's a-
sure that arguments don't break out.
Oh, that's a bit interesting. All right.
That nothing goes violent.
I don't intend for anything to go violent. At least I hope not. Last time I spoke with Paduga, I mean, he got violent, and I chose against doing anything in the interest of peace.
When this is a war that you wanted.
It's a war that I wanted for the concept of change.
You couldn't have, I don't know, maybe talked to me the first time? Did you care when Lynx kidnapped my kid? Did you care when Lynx kidnapped all of Hannah's children?
Yes.
And what did you do about it exactly?
What did I do about it? Well, I'm sorry. It wasn't my land. I thought you guys already made a big deal about how Barrelton is apparently its own thing separate from CPS, and you expected me to do something?
I don't know, maybe just...
want me to
Certainly,
be-
you know,
do you want
Lynx
me
is
to
a
become a
member of the
vigilante?
Skulk. I mean, it's certainly... If you
Lynx
could,
was
we
not a
could have
member of the
known.
Skulk. Lynx was affected by the Skulk.
Guys,
There is
lower
a
your
big
voices.
difference.
Joey, lower your voice.
That's
Lower
Being
your
affected by the Skulk is different from being the Skulk.
It's a pathogen. Do you know that word? Do you know what that means, Joey?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. So we're all on the same page. It is a pathogen that affects the brain.
Yes?
And it caused Lynx to become violent.
I mean, yeah, one could argue that. Yeah.
And the Skulk allowed that to happen. And the Skulk as in...
Lynx
the
was an
athlete.
already broken woman.
An already broken woman. How so
Left
exactly?
like the people.
So, okay,
No, I don't
so
think that's a
everyone
normal
that's already
thing.
infected has already been broken.
That's a non-normal
It
thing to look
took
to.
what Lynx had and redirected it into different
Redirected
directions,
it towards it burning down daycares.
You think it cared? It just, I don't know. I knew what Lynx was doing, sure, but it was kind of like, I don't know, watching a pig walk into fire. It's not.
So
I
did
don't
it
have the
tell you about this
obligation.
at all?
It was more like, what do you guys call it when you talk about each other? Gossip? It was more like gossip between us. I didn't do much about it.
So it decided to keep it a secret from you.
It's a conscious thing. I do believe. Right, B?
We can learn. I can tell. I can do what we can do.
So it has its own choices.
So it chose not to tell you that Lynx was attacking children.
It chose not to mess with the pig that was running into the fire because it had no obligation to.
No obligation. I never. I mean, sure. I mean, it's kind of hard to hold an alien entity to, you know, human standards. But again, I feel like you're, especially also, not to mention with PC and everything he's done during Palantir. I feel like you've been kind of, I don't know, just supporting and aiding in all of its violent behavior.
I wouldn't
Well,
say
because
that.
I've only ever been provoked, and I
You've only ever
haven't
did
done that
you
much.
spread on our land first. Have you ever tried to, you know, I don't know, help and stop those who are infected and
never
violent
asked.
from, you know, I don't know, making you guys look bad, from making the Skulk violent? Have you considered ever trying to help cure those who you know that
I
by
never asked.
they never? How are they supposed to ask when there is an alien parasite controlling their mind?
I can say whatever the hell I want, and that thing can yell at me. I have it
It
yell
doesn't
at me
replace
half the
their
time.
mind.
It's not like it's gonna block them from saying things or makes them do things. I just suggest it or it gets
But
mad
Duga,
and have
no
can communicate with them.
Yeah, but Duga, no offense. I understand that you're a quote-unquote scientist who quote-unquote studies the Skulk, but I do believe the person who speaks with it on a daily basis, who has been able to stop it from spreading itself, would know more than you on this
Well,
topic.
surely, if the Skulk is keeping secrets from them, how do we know that it's not lying to you? How would you
I thought we
know?
already established that it wasn't keeping secrets. It just wasn't telling the.
But it didn't say anything about links besides just leave it be. And what if we could have said other things?
I mean, we're at a peace talk right now, correct? Where we're talking about our different nations, correct? Is that yes or no? Now, I'm not telling you about. Oh wow, in Barrelton, I'm currently working on a path up to Big Mountain because it just doesn't pertain to the conversation.
It doesn't pertain to any conversation, really. My point is
Exactly.
that how are we supposed to trust that either of you will agree to these terms in good faith and actually follow through with them?
Because I'm a man of my word. Good
Your
Hugo.
word is
I know
shit.
I know your word is just a tool you use to manipulate people into not leaving you, but my word, quite frankly, it's what I offer.
Kai, what do you think about this?
Words mean nothing if there's nothing to be behind it.
Exactly.
Well, then
Same
doesn't
thing with
words
paper.
of the
B, I
witnesses at
completely
Hannah's
agree
trial?
with you about people's words. They could be twisted. Same thing with paper. You could erase it and then rewrite it and then forge signatures on it. Trust me, I completely understand that. That's why I am trying to see from these two how they can properly back up what they're saying to keep to their promises. Like Badua keeps launching at Joey, and then these two keep firing back with insults. It's not gonna go anywhere. Honestly, I feel like I'm at a preschool playground with these two.
No offense, Kai, but that's the direction this lore is going. We're trying to make something go wrong.
No, I know. I'm
What?
completely understanding this. I am talking about this in lore.
What?
Yeah, I know.
It is my
He said, I
view.
think he said war, not lore. I don't know here.
Yeah, no, I don't know what I'm talking about. Honestly.
He's blabbing. He's
Fourth
crazy.
wall shattered. I have no clue.
No,
I'm fucking insane.
Put it back.
Why are you talking to me like this? Why are you saying lore, not war?
Oh, guys.
So Kai, I mean, quite frankly, you're going up on your high horse thinking you're so much better than all of us, but I don't
He is.
understand how you truly pertain to this conversation.
What do you mean?
Well, number one, I thought in the beginning you were chosen to be the judge for Hannah's trial due
Yeah.
to your neutral nature. Your neutral nature, correct?
Yeah, because I literally just showed up and I had, no biased opinion on anyone.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
So you're arguing now that you've changed.
No, I don't have any bad
So
blood
no,
with
so,
Hannah.
so you. No, I'm talking about in general. You were able to be the judge because you didn't have any biases towards anyone.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So you're arguing that you have changed now.
Now I know people, yeah. Do I hate
We've
anyone
seen
right
that
now?
change
No.
happen.
So
We've seen it happen.
And yet, you continually call me a manipulator, despite me having changed.
Again, we can see Kai's change. We've seen him speak. He's a member of CPS. He's a member of Namaria. He's spoken with people. He's learned new things. That he has results to show for it. What do you have to show for anything in your life, Joey? How do you have to show that? How do we know you've changed? You can't just say you've changed
You know,
and then expect us to believe you.
You know, Paula? Mm-hmm. You know Liz? Mm-hmm. Well, if we look at a map right about now, I think they're standing in Barrelton and not Aviania. I think that's evidence enough.
And what's your point here?
My point is, your old friends seem to trust me. Do you think I've gotten to them like a boogeyman? Do you think I've convinced them of my pro-script ways?
Liz didn't join you because you're trusted. Liz joined the Barrelton because she's afraid of the Skulk, and I'm certainly, that seems like a far-fetched idea. Why would someone be afraid? Oh, wait. They killed her. Twice. So she joined because she's scared that you'll attack her again. So she joined because she thinks that if she's on your good side, then you won't attack her. And maybe that's true. Maybe that's true.
One of us
Okay,
yes.
but maybe you shouldn't have people being this afraid of the Skulk. Maybe you should actually, make up for your actions instead of just going, we won't do anything anymore.
What am I
Have you ever
supposed to do?
apologized? You certainly seem to defend PC murdering Liz.
Because Liz deserved that. Liz killed my friend. when we didn't even know where the we were, and we didn't know you were on your land, and you killed my friend, and the people demanded they see my home, and I'm going to say this right now, was his first death was entirely justified, and I am not sorry at all for that.
You sped on our land. We tell you to leave. You come onto our land anyway, and then you are surprised by the consequences.
You continued to attack them, Baduga. They told you what the issue was with your actions, and yet for some reason, you just can't seem to see it.
And what was the issue exactly?
They started because I gave a warning, a simple warning that I was thrown off a cliff, and that escalated till we're here now. I gave a warning.
And so?
You gave a warning not to upset your alien parasite dad or some shit?
I gave a warning not to go into my house.
You invited me into your house. I don't know. I don't speak for the
You're
actions of other
right.
people
Fuck
in Aviania. Sure, maybe they shouldn't have gone in your house. Does that deserve death? Or do you like death? I know the skulk certainly spreads from death.
Did my friend deserve to die when they had never been out of the cave? And honestly, I should have been the one who died because I should have known when I can't even see first off that it was.
Fine, you know, Aki didn't deserve to die. I agree. And now, because I'm leader of Aviania, I can say, on behalf of Aviania, I'm sorry for Aki's death. At the time, I wasn't leader. But what I do know is that Liz didn't deserve to die from there.
Liz did.
You're acting like a toddler. You think, okay, if they gets killed.
If so, okay.
But I have a question
Yeah,
for you. If it was entirely up to you, how would
when
you
Lynx
punish
died-
Lynx for their actions? I'm sorry, B. If it was entirely up to you, how would you punish Lynx for their actions?
Lynx?
Yes.
The issue it wasn't about punishment, it was about curing Lynx of her infection that she
Okay,
told
well, then
directly in her journal that she was
So that means
suffering
they haven't
from.
been punished yet. So,
Now, but it wasn't her that did it. Now that she's cured, she wasn't the same person. She wouldn't do it now.
If it were up to you, how would you punish Bloom?
If it was up to me, you know what? It's not even about punishment. Have you ever heard the term rehabilitation? I'm sure you have because your whole manifesto for Barrelton is about it. The whole point is that we need to cure them.
And yet, when I try to help people, you call me an oasis for murderers and scumbags.
Have they actually been reformed in any way whatsoever?
Yes.
How do we know this?
Open your goddamn eyes.
I'm looking straight into the eyes of a manipulator. How does that affect anything?
Well, it takes one to know him now, doesn't it?
What about Bloom? How is he supposed? He's not reformed at the
think
moment, but you certainly let him in. You gave him off with a slap on the wrist. Don't kill people again.
Did Bloom kill someone? No. You shot someone. Assault is
Yeah, no,
different
don't
than
shoot anyone again.
He could have killed Mush. That's
tried
what
to.
we're trying to establish.
I
And he could have
understand. He could have killed Mush. Was he bad after Mush again? Was he? That's my question. Has Mush been attacked again?
Not to my knowledge.
Not yet, but that could change at any moment. How about you stop yelling at Fergie and start being an actually reasonable person?
And you could stab Joey right now, but you haven't. Mush
Yeah, I
was
haven't.
attacked by Bloom
Because
right
I don't
now.
want this war, unlike what you have directly stated.
I want the war for what comes after. That's why I'm here in this
I want it for what comes after.
right
I'm
now.
such an amazing philosopher.
You don't want the war for violence and death?
What do you think war does? You absolute moron! War kills people! Is that really a controversial take?
You seem to understand. I am here right now because I am giving peace a fucking chance. And yet you consistently insult me and my people and my ideals despite me trying to fix it.
You've been trying to... Okay, honestly, I could not hear a single fucking word. I am so sorry. Can you...
to fix it.
No, before that.
Yeah, you were yelling.
Literally
a lot. You
everything.
broke out.
Literally everything. I couldn't hear you with your crunchy ass mic.
Now this is personal out of character. You stop that.
But now we need murder.
Look.
Hey, yo.
Hey, calm down. Put your weapons away.
He wants an apology?
For saying ass to me out of character. That was rude.
I'm sorry, Joey Whack 42.
Thank you.
There we go.
Yeah, you better be sorry.
Furby, put your bow down.
Huh? What?
Put your bow away.
Can you try that again without the crunch, please?
Rice
Baduga,
Krispie.
you have done nothing but insult me my people, and my ideals, despite me being here to give peace a chance.
I didn't know that peace was something that had to be given a chance. I didn't know that peace was what the second option here. You wanted war as your first option. Why didn't you try and change? I don't know, talking it through.
The first thing you did was run after the sculpt to go cure them.
We knew that you were going to declare war either way. You wanted war since the beginning. We were going to let you start it? We're going to let you do something at the masquerade?
It's very easy to understand. I don't understand how you don't get it yet. I don't want war. I want change. War is a way to get to change. This is another way to get to change that we are.
And by change,
right
you
now.
mean you want to change Furby's lantern into something you can control as a puppet.
We have decided to move on from this subject.
Furby.
I know, I'm still a little pissed about that you want to just casually control someone's mind. Oh, I'm going to drop it, it's unreasonable. Why would you bring it up in the first place? You absolute manipulating scumbag! You don't just ask for people's mind control abilities.
Baduga,
And you don't just go around telling you're gonna
what
say
do you
you're
see
gonna
when you
cure
look at
people.
Furby?
Yes, you do. They are in disease. They are violent because of the disease affecting their brains. Just because you're not affected, just because you're immune doesn't mean you have to just let it go.
Baduga, look at Furby right now. What do you see when you look at him? Do you see Furby?
Yeah.
I don't. When I look at Furby, I see fucking you. I see your ideas stuffed into that brain. It hurts them when you do that, you know.
What?
You can
I'm fine.
say that you don't have it, but I know. You may have lied to Kai here. You may be trying to switch the subject back to Sculpt, but no, you're keeping.
I switched
the
it
real
to Furby.
You're keeping the real fucking lantern because you're too scared of losing the only person who you think loves you. No, they genuinely despise you.
Why would I hold on to a mind control device? You're the manipulator here.
Lonely. You are projecting.
Oh, again with the childhood. Oh, that's what you are, but what am I? How about you look in the mirror and look at your sad, wrinkly old eyes and maybe wonder that maybe you should actually try fixing yourself instead of just saying you've
You,
changed.
Baduga. Oh, set you.
How old are you? Aren't you like 14? Go outside and look around.
Oh my goodness, God, I'd love to if I could fucking see it.
So I
Yeah,
do
you're
believe
blind as shit.
This
Hey.
peace meeting isn't going anywhere. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, I can agree.
Yes.
Clearly.
This was a mistake.
It's a waste of
I'm
time.
sorry
Sorry.
for wasting your time, Kai. I'm sorry for having to bring you here, B. Furby, I'm incredibly sorry for what Baduke has done to you. Shall we go?
He hasn't done anything.
Michelle.
You haven't done anything to me.
Oh my god. But I need you to be completely honest with me right now, right here. Furby, please do not cut into this question. I
Yeah,
need
you don't
Baduga
have to-
himself.
Yeah.
Which,
Just stay
Would you like
right
me to
here.
leave?
Baduga, do you have the real lantern?
No.
And you could swear that on everything.
On everything I have.
I trust you then. That has been
Thank
the
you.
same lantern that we found Furby ages ago with.
Yes.
Okay. Oh my fucking god. This was...
want to head back.
I'm sorry for getting annoyed. He certainly tried to dig his way into me.
Oh my god, clearly he was attacking sensitive points. Your friends leaving you? That's so... why would that even be reasonable
He
to bring
poached
up?
them to Barrelton by manipulating them.
Exactly my point. He did the same thing to Bloom. This is why... Oh my fucking god. And then he's just placing it, reflecting it back on you. And then he's just saying that
Exactly.
you're reflecting onto him. Oh my god, he's such fucking... Oh my god. Furby?
What's going
This
on?
was stressful. I don't know why I even believed that something would come from this.
I don't know. It wasn't your fault. It was Joey's fault.
No, yeah, you're good.
No, I'm tired. I'm just tired right now.
Let's bring you home.
Yeah.
I
Well,
need
let's...
to talk with you.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna. I'm gonna take Furby and make sure they're okay. For right now, you have to go back to Namari and tell Dad that things failed because Joey refused to see
Shit.
peace as an option.
Yeah, I need to go tell Dad. I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay, go through there.
It was
I'm
nice
Furby.
seeing
Wait
you
here.
again.
Sorry.
See you dudes. Oh my god. The war's gonna happen. There
It's
is...
gonna happen.
It's inevitable.
I don't want to.
This nether portal needs to hurry up.
Why is it?
Why is it taking so long? The worst gonna happen. Oh my god, okay. War is inevitable now. We have come to no conclusion because everyone decided that they want to be very unreasonable during a meeting that should have been very productive. But you know what? So what?